Beatsby3rd.
Selling your beats is a tricky topic. A lot of people don't know ways about what's the difference of a lease and selling. Basically, if you selling it exclusive, you basically just selling your beat, and whoever buys it from you can do whatever with it. Now, leasing is a little bit different. Basically, you're loaning that beat out for a price, and they can use it for X number of copies, and basically they can't make monetary gain off of it. So just depending on who you leasing your beat out to, that can fluctuate. So say if you had a popular artist and they ask you for a favor, I would definitely consider setting the lease price low, because they're going to give you exposure on that beat also. Now if this is exclusive, I'll set it a little bit high, anywhere about 300 range, because that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Knowledge. Definitely knowledge is number one. So a lot of people out here make a lot of music and don't really understand how they're making it. One of my most asked questions is, what's the deal with the frequency response when I start talking about it? And basically, us being humans, we hear frequencies on totally different levels as, say, animals, dogs and cats and whales. It's all dealing with frequencies. We tend to have not a great frequency response when we're listening to low frequencies such as subwoofers and instruments that have very low tones, so we tend to amp those up while we're mixing, and when we take it to another playback device, it's too loud. So you basically gotta understand what frequencies are, and if you don't know frequencies, it's basically cycles per second. That's the amount of times a wave completes itself in 1 second. So study up on that knowledge, be able to talk, be able to convince people you know what you mean, and you will be more successful. Beatsby3rd is my brand. If you don't know, my name's 3rd Degree. Represent ENU, never easing up. Feel good music, and since middle school I've been rapping and got the name 3rd Degree, and all of a sudden it just stick with me. Started messing around with making the beats on Fruity Loops, and then people was like, yo, that's beat hot by 3rd. So I was like, yo, let's me roll with that, and Beatsby3rd came out. Number one thing I think sets me apart from beat makers is knowledge. Definitely knowledge. Going to school, getting my engineering degree. Just looking around at the room, you can see treating your room is very important. If your room is not treated, I mean, you got modes and everything going on that can make your sound different than what it actually is. So a lot of people was like, well, what programs you use and what VSTs you use and how do you put your stuff together, man? Why my stuff don't sound it? Just look at your room first, man. Look at what you got going on. Take your dimensions. Find out why your stuff is not sounding like it's supposed to sound. What kind of monitors are you using? Once you understand what frequencies are, understand what frequencies are being amped in your room and why things is different. And then just treat it. Once you get that and you get the true sound of what you're making, then all your other stuff fall into place. Some of my favorite VSTs is definitely Nexus. I rock with Nexus pretty hard. I use Albino a lot. Etta Royal Orchestra is one of my favorites. I like those pure sounds. Use a couple sound fonts, but basically I do roll with the Nexus. Yes, everybody who knows the Beatsby3rd brand knows I definitely market my customers. If you flow on my beats, I push you out just like I continue to push my brand out. People like to hear music that's fully together, so I constantly need artists to go on top of my beats to pitch to other people, to make it sound more professional. especially if they're trying to get signed or trying to do demos and stuff. They want a complete package. So anytime I have artists that I feel have faith in me, I put the same faith back in my artists and really work with them and get out there and chase their dream. It all depends on what my vision for the beat is. If it's a quick trap type beat, not real complex, anywhere from an hour or two. If it's something that I really want to be different, stand out, I can spend up a couple days doing the beat. It all depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm sampling, if I'm wanting it to sound a certain way, I really tune in on those beats and work with them until I get them perfect before I release them. Oh yes, I work with a lot of people who just tell me I got this in my head, man. I just got this song, but I don't really got no music to go to it. And I say, well, just come by the studio and let me hear it, and then they'll start singing, and then I'll play around with them, and then they'll say something they like, and they're like, yeah, I like that. Definitely being an engineer, you'll run into that a lot. You have people come to you and have these ideas, but just need you to put something to it, so you'll get that a lot. And I definitely run through that a lot in my career. Sample beats I do. If you have a certain request, I do that. But I tend to educate people first about sampling, because a lot of people think that they can sample 3 seconds and get away with it, 2 seconds and get away with it, and no, you can't sample nothing and get away with it. Basically, you need the permission to do it. But if it's promotional use like mixtapes, a lot of people don't really look at that because you're not making money. So just say that it's right. It's a matter of opinion, but you're definitely not going to get the eyes of major labels or pretty people who know what's going on with sample music, because they know what they need and they don't want the legal tropes.